Hello friends, and welcome back to another tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these Kandi axolotls. A few things before we get started. I'm going to be doing something slightly different than this pattern. There's another version with a bigger tail, which I feel like looks more axolotl-like, and that's one we're going to be doing today. This tutorial is going to be another work along with me. If you've seen some of my other work along with me's, for example, like my bat charm tutorial, essentially I will be filming every single step. There will be little to no cuts. The idea is as if we are in the same room working together. So some things to keep in mind for the materials. As you can see here, I have this clear string used on this axolotl. However, we will not be using that, nor do I recommend it. As you look right now, it looks fine, but the moment I pick it up, it starts to kind of squish in on itself. And with a lot of trial and error with the stretch string, there was just nothing I could do to get it to work. But what I did find that worked really well was ribbon. I also went to a craft store and I found some of this stuff by, I think it's Craft Smart, and it's really thick plastic string. The inside of it's kind of hollow. It's like a big spaghetti noodle. And this stuff also works as well, but if you know my grievances about plastic string, I really try to avoid it for long-term projects, for example, like these, because it's eventually gonna dry rot. So I picked up some ribbon, this super thin stuff, and decided to give it a try, and it turned out to be my favorite, so that's what I'm gonna be using today. So if my memory serves me correct, I do use about 50 inches of string. I know I've been getting a lot of feedback that you guys would like to know about how much string I use. I just kind of go with the flow, but for this I did measure, so I used about 50 inches. You're also gonna need roughly around 90 beads. So to get started, you are going to fold your string in half, just like this. For this tutorial, I'm going to be doing the basic axolotl color, so I'm gonna do a light pink and a dark pink. You can use any colors you want, but just for the ease of the tutorial, I'm gonna be showing you how to do the basic axolotl color scheme. All right, so on one side of your string, you're gonna start with your base color, and we're going to do 2 beads down one side of the string. On the other side of the string, using our base color as well, we are going to be doing 3 down the side of the string. Alright, so to get started, we are going to take the side that has the 2, and we are going to take the string and weave it through these 3 beads. Direction is important here, so we're going to weave it on this side. So whatever side the string is sticking out of is where you're going to start your weaving. So we're just going to do that. And we are going to pull. Now, I'm going to make sure, at the best of my ability, that my strings stay the same length on both sides. It just makes your life a little easier, especially if you're doing exact measurement of string. And we should look something like this. So we're gonna start with our next row. For this, it doesn't matter what side of the string you start on. We are going to be adding our first set of gills. So I'm going to add 1, 2, and 3 of my dark pinks. Now I'm going to take my string and I'm going to weave it back down through these 2 beads. So we're going to do something like this and just weave it down. And you should look something like this. And we're just going to pull. And it should sit right there. And we are going to do the same thing on the other side of the string. So we're going to take, for me, my 3 dark beads. 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to take my string and I'm going to weave down the 2 pink beads right here. And we're just going to pull. All right. You have your first set of gills. At this point, I know you can't see it on camera, but I am pulling my strings behind me just to make sure that they still align. Alrighty, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're going to add his eyes. So for me, I'm just gonna do typical black eyes. So I'm gonna take 1 eye color, my 2 body colors, and his eye color. So it should be looking something like this. I'm gonna take my other side of the string and I am going to weave it this way. So whatever side the string is sticking out of is where we're gonna start the weave. And we are just gonna take this and we are going to pull again. Now we're going to do our second set of gills. So just like before, we're gonna take our, for me, dark pink, 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to weave down these 2 beads. And think of our top bead almost as like, this is a stopper, right? So keeps the beads on the string. And I'm gonna take the other side of my string and I'm gonna do the exact same thing. So 3 of my dark pinks. And then skipping the first bead, going down these 2 beads, and we pull. Perfect. All right, now we're gonna creep down the side of his body here. So I am going to take 3 of my base colors, so my body colors, which is for me is a light pink. Weave it down one side of the string, and we are going to take the other half of our string, whatever side the string is sticking out of, you're just gonna weave it through. So we're gonna weave it on this side. And we are going to pull. And now we're gonna finish our last set of gills. So just like before, for me, it is dark pink. So I'm gonna take 3 of my dark pinks, weave it down the 2, and pull. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. So 1, 2, and 3. And I'm gonna weave it down the 2 pink. And we're gonna pull. Alrighty. So now we have the head of our axolotl done. Alrighty, so we are going to start now with his body. So I am going to do 1, 2, 3 of my light pinks. And I'm going to, again, taking my string on the side that's sticking out. I'm just gonna weave it through and we will pull. And I'm gonna go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sorry, I don't know why my camera's having such a hard time focusing today. And we are going to weave it through. Remember the side that the string is sticking out of. And we are going to pull. Alrighty. Now for our little guy, we are going to add our first set of arms. So for the arms, you can kind of make it as long as you want. You can do 3. I think for axolotls, I like the stubby arm look, so I'm only going to do 2 for the length of his arm. So I'm doing 2. And for his little toesies, I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3 of my dark pink. So it'll be 2, or as many as you want, to be honest, as long as you want your legs. 2 of the body color, and then 3 for the little toesies. Now for this, we are going to take our string and we are going to weave it through our body colors. So we're just going to take our string and weave it through the body colors, just like this. Perfect. And we're just going to pull. And it should create his first set of little toes. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So however many body color you want for the length of the legs, and I'm going to do 3 little toesies. and I'm going to weave it through just the body colors. So for me, it is 2 light pinks. And I'm going to pull. And sometimes this happens, you just kind of have to, you know, help form it. So it should be 2 on each side, a little toe on the top. Now, he's got his first set of legs. All right, so now we're gonna fill out the rest of the length of his body. We're gonna do 3 more rows of 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we weave through the side here. Now, normally through these tutorials, I always say, remember to pull your string tight, but if you are using, for whatever reason, any elastic string, I would say a medium tug is probably the best. Don't pull too tight because then it will crumple on itself immediately, and too loose it won't hold its shape. So there's definitely a lot of trial and error when learning how to do it with elastics. But if you're using non-stretch string, like I am, just make sure you pull it as tight as you can, and that's about all you can do. Alrighty. Alright. And pull. Alrighty. So we're gonna want 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of 4. Now from here, we're gonna add on his second pair of legs. So we're gonna do the same thing. I'm going to do 2 of my body color, and I'm going to do 3 of his little toesies. Again, I think for the toes, you should stick around 3. For the legs, you can make them as long as you'd like. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna take the string and we're going to weave it through the 2 body colors. And we're just gonna pull. Same thing on the other side. So I'm just gonna do 1 and 2 and 3 toesies. Same thing, I'm just going to take my string, weave the 2 body colors. Alrighty, for our last body set, we're actually just gonna do a row of 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we're gonna take the other side of the string and weave it through. Alrighty, and we have the body of our axolotl done. The last thing to do is the tail. So if you would like a little border around your tail, you can do that, or you can leave it one solid color. For me, I like to leave a little border. So we're gonna do a row of 4. So I'm going to do a little border, and we are going to do 1 and 2 for the body color, and then another border color. And I'm going to take the opposite side of my string and weave it through. Now, if you like the design with the thinner tail, you would just do the rows of 3 instead of 4. I just like the chunkier tail, to be honest. I think it looks more axolotl-like. We are going to do 2 more rows. So I'm going to do my border color and 2 of our body color and a border color again. And I'm gonna do 1 more row of that. So border color, 2 of the body, and 1 border color. Alrighty, we are almost done. I'm going to take my border color. I'm gonna do 1, a body color, 2, and then one more of the border color, and 3. And I'm going to weave it down the side here. And to wrap up the tail, if you are doing a border color, I'm going to take 2 of my border colors here, weave it through, and I'm going to take one last border color to tie it off, and I'm just going to weave it through. And ta-da, you have your own little axolotl. Isn't that adorable? Now, the way that I like to tie these off is I'm going to take one end of my string and I am going to weave it through this little loop. So I'm going to take my string and I'm just going to weave it through like that. And then I'm going to do one quick little knot. All right. And I'm going to take my other string and I like to weave it back through. And I'm just going to meet the 2 tails and I'm just going to tie them together. And there's going to be a little bit of a string sticking out, but it's kind of hard to avoid. I'm going to give this about 2 or 3 really good ties just because I don't want it to pop off. I'm going to attempt to hide this string. Let's see if I can do it. I'm going to try to tuck it into this bead here. I'm going to take my tail, I'm going to weave it underneath here, see if I can pull it through. All right, let's see. There we go. It's about as good as it's going to get when hiding the string. Alrighty, so now I'm going to cut off the extra tails. And there it is. Now what I like to do is I like to add some hardware to it. So I have these little metal lobster claws and some of these key rings. So I like to add it to the tip of the tail with that. And now your axolotl can sit on a little keychain. And you can also add a regular key ring to the tip of the tail. I don't know, I like the little lobster claw a lot more. Alrighty, my friends, and that is the end of this tutorial. And as you can see, when we use the non-stretchy string, he does not collapse in on himself. So he makes for a really good keychain. You can attach him to candy necklaces, singles, or you can just make him into keychains. They're really fun trinkets to pass out. Everyone always really loves these guys. Alrighty, my friends, and that is the end of this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.